Hey everybody, this is Chelsea Shaffer.
And Kaitlin Gustave.
And this is The Score, the official podcast of the sport of team roping. This is the Team Roping Journal's semi-weekly podcast highlighting the team roping industry's top talents and influencers through stories that inspire and connect ropers. We sit down with ropers from the professional ranks as well as industry icons and producers to delve into topics that make the team roping world tick. This is Season 2. It will feature even deeper interviews, storytelling, and issue-based coverage, and we are so excited you're here. Hey, Kaitlin.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Short Score. This is the last week of July.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
It's almost birthday month.
It's almost Kaitlin's birthday. Her birthday's in August, at the end of August. But don't worry, we will be celebrating all month.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll give you guys a fun prize or something, like a free magazine subscription every week to celebrate Kaitlin's birthday. We'll come up with a contest.
We'll do something. You're welcome, people.
We're going to encourage this. Okay. Anyway, moving on, guys. Kaitlin's a little slap happy today because she was at Cheyenne dang near all week last week. It was fun, right?
It was fun.
How did you feel about the format?
It was different. I think there's some things that they need to work on, and I think there are some things that came really great out of it.
Yeah.
So, kind of up and down about it.
Yeah, and Dustin Bird and Trey Yates, of course, they won Cheyenne. I think, obviously, they would have roped great under any of Cheyenne's conditions. Trey's definitely proved that in the past. But just glad to see them get a win either way.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. I mean, especially, Trey missed on the first one in the performances, and they still made it back to the final. So, it was anyone's ball game.
It sure was anyone's ballgame, which is very different, and obviously that's a lot of the criticism that I've seen of what happened in Cheyenne was that it's not supposed to be anybody's ballgame. It's supposed to be the toughest cowboys that rope the best over that whole period. But I'm just sharing what I've heard because I certainly enjoyed watching it, and I enjoyed the coverage on the Cowboy Channel. But as we get diverted now, that information, we will talk to Trey about that and more later in this episode. Kaitlin caught up with Trey right after his win. Was he as emotional as he looked on TV?
No. I mean, you could tell he was feeling all the feels, but he wasn't.
He kept it together.
Yeah, he kept it together.
That's good.
I was proud of him.
Very good. Very good.
So, obviously, Pro Rodeo results like every week. Obviously, Dustin Bird and Trey Yates won Cheyenne. In that final round, they were 7.8 seconds, and that paid over $9,000. And then in the average after the slack, they were 19.4 on two head, which qualified them to the quarterfinals. And then Trey messed up on the back end in their first round, and they came back in their second round, the fourth performance, and placed second with a 9.2 second round.
They just squeaked in.
Yeah, and so their money won in that round, the $1,674, advanced them to the finals. So that was a big day for them. Saddles, buckles, you name it. So
yeah, that was cool.
Trey also won some money with his dad, J.D. Yates, in Burwell, Nebraska. They placed second with a 5.4 second round, paying over $1,000 as well. Bird, he's currently 29th in the standings with $33,839, and Trey is just shy of top 15. He's 16th with $43,941.
Yeah, Trey had a decent winner with JoJo Lamont, which is kind of the discrepancy in the money. That's pretty crazy, though. These guys, the summer wasn't going great. I think they won Sisters, but otherwise it's been really, really dry this summer for them. So Cheyenne win was really big. Unfortunately, they had already decided not to rope much further. So Bird's headed home he's going to go rodeo in their circuit and then in Canada get the Canadian finals made. But 29th in the world, I don't know how much he can win in Canada and in Montana for the next 2 months, but it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah. And Trey, he's got Clayton Van Aken. He's from Wyoming. And Trey,
Wyoming / by way of California.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trey talks about that in our interview. That will be later in this episode.
Cool. I know I talked to Julie Mencken, who's one of our writers, and she is going to work on a story with Clayton on teaching the head horse move because Julie says Clayton is one of the best at teaching the move. So fun to see.
That's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, the rest of Pro Rodeo, another team we saw in the short round at Cheyenne was Nick Sartain and Austin Rogers.
Yep, they didn't place in the final round, but Cheyenne, they placed in the 7th performance. They tied Chad Masters and Joseph Harrison for 3rd with a 9.2, and that paid over $1,000. And then in the 8th performance, they were first with an 8.4, and that paid $2,233. And all that money is what advanced them to Short Coast Sunday at Cheyenne. They also won Deadwood Days of 76 Rodeo in Deadwood, South Dakota. They were 10-4 on 2, and that paid over $2,000. They tied Tanner Baldwin and Nano Garza and Paul David Tierney and Tanner Braden for 7th in the first round with a 6 second run, and that paid over $100. And then they placed 2nd in the second round with a 4.4, and that paid $1,553. And then at Ogden, Utah, Pioneer Days, they tied Lane Ivy and Cesar De La Cruz for first in the first round with a 4.6 second round. That paid over $2,000 a man.
So moral of that story is these guys are within the top almost to the top 30 in the world. But Nick is 32nd. Austin is 31st. Nick is coming off a huge year of World Series of Team Roping finale roping. That was really awesome last year to watch Nick win at the World Series of Team Roping finale in Las Vegas. He's kind of rodeoing on that money, hopefully still. Hopefully he hasn't blown through it all. Nick, no judgment if you did, because I would have probably done the same. But I'm really excited to see them with a chance. This is a big month of rodeo kicking in August, so it'll be great to watch them.
And moving on, Nelson Wyatt and Levi Lord, we talked about them last week, winning big. They won the average at Spanish Fork Fiesta Days Rodeo in Utah. They were 8.6 seconds on 2 head, and that paid $4,383 a man. In the first round, they tied Tyler Waters and Seth Smithson for 2nd with a 4.1. And then in the second round, they placed 6th with a 4.5. So that's awesome. Nelson, he's 17th in the standings with a little over 44,000. And Levi is 15th with 45,000.
Well, look at Levi go.
Right?
15th in the world. That's exciting. And Nelson's roped good for a while, too. So that's great to see them.
And moving on, that Tate Kirkenschlager. Crazy. He is currently leading the Mountain State standings right now. And he is 11th in the world standings with $56,358.
So nobody knows how much it's going to take to get the finals made this year.
Nope.
There's only 65 rodeos that count. I'm not sure what Tate's rodeo count is. PRCA doesn't post that online like the WPRA does. But 56,000 already won. He's 11th. He won San Antonio this year. If it were years past, we would say he needs to win about 10 more thousand to make the finals. We don't know, though, how that's going to work this year. It's all up in the air. Buddy's 36th. He's got 27,001, so
that's awesome. And then lastly, the Minor brothers, Riley and Brady. They tied Logan and Keely Bonnet with a 4.9 second run in Medicine Hat, Alberta. And then at the Last Chance Stampede in Helena, Montana, they tied the Torres brothers, Joshua and Jonathan, for 7th with a 10.8 second run. And then in Joseph, Oregon, at the Chief Joseph Days, they won first in the average with 11.9 seconds on 2 head.
Minors just keep placing. That's what they do that. So
Riley's 3rd in the standings right now.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And I don't even know that we've talked to them for any big wins this year.
No.
They haven't been on the score. We haven't done any real articles about them, but they're riding 2 of the best horses by far in the game. Obviously, Bob, many time Horse of the Year, Horse of the BFI. Brady has a horse that he just bought from Dustin Bird. He's got Shug. He's got Ray. He's kind of got a monopoly on the heel horse game right now. So no surprises there. I wanted to talk a little bit about who is in the standings right now. This is kind of my favorite thing to look at this time of year in particular. Paul David Tierney is still hanging on at number 13. He had a really good winter and has just been kind of circuit rodeoing, going just a little wee bit throughout the summer. He's got 52,001. So if it were about last year, he's got to win about 14 more thousand to kind of guarantee a spot. Synogeny, him and Patrick have had a really slow summer. That just picked up at Deadwood. He's 18th in the standings. He's got 42,001. We already said Nelson Wyatt's up there. Bubba Buckle is 16th. Matt Sherwood is 21st, which Sherwood is really deadly and really steady. So there's no telling. I think the bubble is really, really interesting this year. There's some amazing names, some really great ropers on the bubble. So there's definitely no sure bets from it's hard to say, like 7 down, number 7 in the world on down at least. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Super interesting.
Mm-hmm. On the heel side too, Tanner Braden, who roped with Paul David Tierney, he's number 13. Levi Lord, like we said, is number 15. Nano Garza is at 17th. We already talked about Trey Yates. He's 16th. Tyler Worley's in there. Shea Carroll, who just returned to healing, is in there. Billy Jack Sabins, him and Tyler Wade are having a really good summer. Things are picking up for them. So everybody just stand by, follow our website. We're going to do everything we can to bring you all of the bubble drama as it unfolds over the next 2 months. 2 months is a long time of rodeo. So a lot's going to change, but
so excited.
Yep.
And then moving on from Pro Rodeo results, we have our Resistol Rookie race that we follow weekly. That Cal Fuller, he's still number 1 in the Resistol Rookie race. He's roping with Casper Roy. He has $21,697, and he is also 44th in the PRCA World Standings. In Bruce, Alberta, they tied Dawson Graham and Dylan Graham with a 6.7 second run. They were 3rd there. And then in Medicine Hat, Alberta, they were 6th with a 5.3 second run. Garrett Chick, he's roping with Ross Ashford. He's in a close second behind Cal Fuller. He has $18,816 won, and he just jumped up into the top 50 in the PRCA World Standings. At Ogden, Utah, they placed 3rd in the average with a 10.3 seconds on 2 head, and that paid over $2,000. And in the second round, they won first with a 4.4, adding another $2,000 to their earnings. Colton Campbell, he's roping with Dalton Pierce. He's 3rd in the standings with $13,785. They placed in the rounds at Cheyenne. In the 5th round, they were 4th with a 10.9, and the 6th performance, they were 4th again with 11.5. Dylan Holyfield is roping with Phoenix Everino. He's 4th with almost $8,000 in the standings. They placed 4th with a 16-second run at Cle Elm, Washington, and then they were 5th in the average in Joseph, Oregon, with 14 seconds on 2 head. Cooper White is roping with Tucker White. He's 5th with $7,000. They placed 2nd at Wahoo, Nebraska with 11.5, and 4th at Burwell, Nebraska with a 5.8 second run. Brody Jones is roping with Braden Evans. He's 9th with 5,000. They placed 6th at Rock Springs, Wyoming with 11.7 seconds. And then Clayton Eggers is roping with Jake Riley, and he's 10th in the standings with a little over $5,000. They placed at Joseph, Oregon. They placed 5th in the second round with a 6.3 second run. And then on the heel side, obviously we're going to start off that Peyton Bray. Although he didn't win money last weekend, he's still number 1 in the standings, and he's currently 24th in the PRCA World Standings with $34,700. More healer updates. Heath Williams is healing for Clint Wallace. He's 3rd with almost $15,000. They won Mesquite, Texas with a 9.7 second run. Jaron Johnson is healing for Cody 2. He's currently 6th with $7,000. They placed 2nd in the 3rd performance at Cheyenne with a 10.1 second run. Dylan,
and they missed. Cody missed that steer in the short round to be pretty fast, so that was kind of a bummer of an opportunity there. But there's lots more summer left for Jaron, and he ropes great.
Oh yeah. And then Dylan Alstrom is healing for Taylor Wynn. He's 7th with $6,468. They were 1st in the 2nd perf at Cheyenne, 7.7 second run. That paid a little over $2,000. Drew Carnes is healing for Ty Berger, and he's 8th with $6,000.
They won Kellettville, Pennsylvania. Don't worry, just here to interpret East Coast and Canadian words for you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And then lastly, in the Resistol Rookie healing update, Colton Britton, who's healing for Coy Britton, he's 9th with almost $5,000. They placed 3rd at Steamboat Springs, Colorado with a 7.1 second run.
All right.
I felt like I had to roll through that really quick.
You did a good job, though. But I'm glad that we rolled through it because now you all get to listen to Trey Yates after his win at the Cheyenne Frontier Days. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Hey, Trey, welcome to the Short Score.
Thank you for having me.
You just won the daddy of them all. What's going through your mind right now?
It's just crazy. It's there's dreams that come true, but this is something I think, for me anyway, and I would assume many other people, that it's a dream that just exceeds reality. And to be a part of a win this prestigious and this unique, no words can describe. There's Cheyenne. There's about 2 rodeos, Cheyenne and Pendleton, that have, there's always variables stacked against you in rodeo. I mean, as far as a barrier, there's a lot of rules that come into play. And Cheyenne and Pendleton are 2 that we have those variables plus many more. I mean, we have a 30-foot head start here on steers that, they know what they're doing and they know how to get away, and good horses really shine here. Both head, heel horses, any event, calf horses. That's just what makes Cheyenne what it is, and to be able to put my name up there with the champions in the past, it's just very surreal.
Have you ever been close to winning it?
The very first year I came here, my dad and I won 5th. And then it was about the 3rd year I came, we won the 2nd round, split it, and come back and won 3rd in the average. And that's the year that my dad won 3rd in the steer open that year, and won the senior side pot, and won the all around. And so, to be a part of that, because my dad has so many trinkets and has won so many different things, being a part of his only all around win at Cheyenne, that was. It was more than a win. Anyway, that it was awesome, and then come here 2 more times, and the 3rd year after that, just to win it, it's just like I said, it's surreal. It's and we drew a great steer. Dustin nailed the barrier, and he set that steer up to be heeled fast, and my old horse Why he got around there and give me a dead lay, and we were in the middle of the arena and got a good finish, and it worked out as good as it could possibly work out. So.
And how about, obviously they changed the setup this year. It's tournament style, and then you come back on a clean run. Kind of just walk me through each of your runs.
Well, the first day in the slack, we just caught our 2 steers. Our second one was decent. We were 10-3 maybe and 9-1. Our second one, we just made a good run, and we placed 6th, I think, on the first 2, just catching them, and that was our goal. And we come back in the first round of the performances, and Dustin spun me a good steer on the first one. He was maybe a step left, but didn't really matter. And I was a little far behind. That steer broke to the left, and I hung back thinking maybe he'll come back to the right, and about the time Dustin stuck it on him, I was too far behind, and I maybe got a little far the inside and didn't get my bottom strand on the ground. I had an inside leg for a second, and he got out of it. And we come back the next day, and we had a steer that Braden Peering and Matt Zancanella were 12-1 or 12-3 on, and from the back end here, it's kind of crazy, I guess, because I got to watch a lot of them today. I got to see it firsthand, but you can't really tell how hard a steer's running. It's so far away and everything, but I could tell the steer really ran hard. And kind of a step off to the right, and they were 12 on him. And, Zank might have taken another swing, but when you're going that fast here, it's hard to really commit to doing things so fast, Anyway, that's the steer we had the next day, and honestly, from my perspective, that was the only one I probably didn't want. And Dustin just nailed the barrier again. I kind of left because I knew that steer was going to be straight or to the right, and I might have got that steer broken in the left lead a little, maybe, it's hard to say now, a little too much. And we made a great run on him. We were 9-1. So at that point, Dustin spun me 4 really good steers. I've messed one of them up. We come back today on a steer that was an extra, going into the second round of the last set. Lane Ivy and Caesar won the round on him. He replaced a steer that had got hurt or something, and I'd seen the run, and he looked a little stronger but ran a really solid pattern. And like I said, Dustin freaking nailed the barrier again and blew to him and got him where I could heel him fast. And so to say, there's been a lot of ups and downs about the new format. And I've had success in the old format, clearly. Now, for me to have missed one and win Cheyenne, how can I be against the new format? The honest to God truth of it all is we're competitors, we're rodeo cowboys. So whatever the rules are, that's the rules we're going to play, and that's just how it is. I can't say one format's better than the other.
Awesome. And okay, before you ran your short round steer, did you call home? Did you talk to your dad? Like, what mental prep did you have?
I didn't. I talked to my dad and my granddad this morning, and do your job. That's what they said. And today, when it's one head against 16 guys, that's the only thing out of this format that everything's gotta line up right. I told Christopher, my friend today that was here with me, when I ride, maybe I sound like Walt on Blueberry, but when I ride YY, I know everything that's about to take place. And previous to this, I've won 20-some thousand on him in this arena. And it's a pretty standard pattern, the routine we got right here in this arena, as far as I kind of coast when the gates open. And when they pull the barrier, I still kind of coast. And I don't know, it's just, we're pretty synced here. We're very, I'm nervous. When the thing about Cheyenne is you can make a great run. You can't never tell how fast you are here. I knew today when I heeled that steer, it was by far the fastest I had been, because my dad and I were 8-1 maybe, or 8-2 when we won the second round here that year. But we we knew we had, in that slack, there was, 40-some teams, maybe 50 teams. And I remember Manny Esquiza and Daniel Brayman had that steer the first day. So everybody wanted that steer and maybe 2 more, Well, when I went up there at 6:15 that morning and we had that steer, I knew if we caught, we were going to be fast to win a lot. So my dad, of course, him and his bay horse Buster just nailed the barrier. I got to the inside, let him take a jump away from me, and I roped 2 feet. Today I got around him. Dustin set him up to be heeled fast, and I got around him and heeled him fast, like really aggressive.
It was super aggressive.
One head today, like 4th team out. Honestly, when I came up here today, I'm like, I hope I'm at the front of the pack. I don't want to be, the other day when I missed that steer in the first round of the perfs, I exposed myself a little too much. Turns out I took a chance maybe that I don't always take, and I'm not blaming that on anything, but as far as that I missed. But the next day we had our backs against the wall. We had to do good. And I took an extra swing and the steer lined out, and I heeled him, and we won 1 second in our set, right? So today, I don't feel like I just did anything crazy, but the stars lined up. My horse put me in a good position. Dustin did a great job. Did I feel like we were 7-8? I can't say that I did or didn't. I knew we were faster than 8-1.
Yeah.
Or 8-3 or whatever I was that year, because there was a little more exposure in the run.
Yeah.
When it's a one-header, I mean, shoot, anything could happen, you know.
It's anyone's ball game.
It is. It really is. And watching from the back end was... Now, I will say I wanted to be at the top of the pack, but watching another, 12 teams to go or 11 teams, that was also nerve-wracking. But I knew that 7-8 was going to win good money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, my grandpa always tells me, you know, it's about doing your job. We did our job to the fullest of our abilities at that certain point in time. And whatever happened after that happens, you know. And so am I grateful to win the rodeo? Absolutely. But I'm just glad that in a time of when we really needed to do good or do our jobs, we did. That's something that I think really goes into being a winner, and that's where I want to go. I feel like I've won a lot, but I want to be a guy who consistently wins all the time.
Yeah.
I want my name called. I want to be a guy who everybody wants to rope with. I want to catch 2 feet. I want to be known for whatever takes place in the run, doing my job.
Yeah.
And when opportunities like that arrive, I want to be the guy that pulls through. You know, that's a personal goal.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing to strive for.
No.
What's next? You're roping with Clayton Van Aken?
I'm going to rope with Clayton Van Aken starting at Caldwell. You know, I guess to say I didn't have intentions of still making the NFR this year would be lying. We've kind of had a patch of rough luck, and
you and Bird.
Me and Bird, yep. It just hasn't really worked out. Clearly, it's turned around, and you know, sadly, this is our last year. You know, I went to Canada for a couple weeks, and we won a little bit, but had some tough luck, and it's a long ways from my house, which, you know, that's part of the game. But when I, Dodge City's just kind of close to home, and the Spicer Grip and everything, and my grandpa likes to go watch me now, especially. My dad and I are going to rope there, so that kind of came into play. Yeah. It's nothing personal. I love Bird. He's very positive. He's an absolute great guy.
I would say I don't think Bird has any bad days.
No, Bird's very, he's got a very, very much so winning attitude. As far as anything in the past doesn't bother him. Yeah. It's just at this point in my career with my family deal, and I like to stay closer to home. It's no different than him. You know, he's going to 5 rodeos in Montana this next week. Yeah. And I'm going to 3 or 4 right there by my house. I would say our circles just kind of didn't add up. And I'm okay with that. You know, I sure hope that, we're tight. You know, I want to be his friend, and freaking dang sure want to rope together again. We've had some pretty cool wins. Sisters Oregon was big, you know. I am thankful for that. I got to go see some different places. And that's what rodeoing's about, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna rope with Clayton Van Aken starting at Caldwell. Clayton and I college rodeo together. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of potential with the rope, and I wanted to go rope with somebody who kind of had the, he's kind of like I am or was, I guess, before today, a little bit behind the 8 ball. Yeah. As far as world standings and making the NFR, but he's never got in the winter rodeos, and that's a goal for him. And that's kind of where I stood in my career up to today, as far as this year. Anything can happen now. I hope it goes good, and I don't really know what Bird's plans are, but I wish him the best too. Whatever he does. And
is there anything going on? Like, what are you gonna do with this win? Like, money, what's?
Well, we got a pretty. You've seen it, but we got a pretty neat trophy room at our house.
Yeah, is it gonna go with your dad's stuff in there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We got matching set, not matching because they aren't the same year, but we got matching NFR average champion saddles. We got Reno spurs next to each other's. He's got 2 sets. He's got an all-around set and a team roping set. I put my team roping set right next to his. He's got 1, 2, 3 Cheyenne buckles now. He's got a champion steer roper from the late 80s, maybe early 90s. He's got, and then the year we were here, he won the senior steer open and won the all-around. So he's got them in there, and his daddy a mall saddle. I will say that our house is pretty bachelored out, but we've put our matching college final saddles together. We've put our matching NFR saddles kind of next to each other, and we're running out of room. But we will make room to put our Cheyenne saddles together.
Yeah.
A goal of mine is, at some point in my career, I want to be an average champion at the, I always want to be a world champion. That's everybody's goal. But an average championship at the Steer Open Finals, and then we'd have, 3 or 4 sets of matching saddles in there.
All right, Trey, I wish you all the luck in the world the rest of the summer, and huge congratulations on this win today.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and we appreciate you guys at the Team Roping Journal doing what you do, and you keep a lot of fans interested in our sport out there, and that's what it takes, and I just want a lot of young kids to know, and people know that it wasn't, 4 years ago I was behind the 8 ball a little bit in my roping, and if you just keep your hammer mashed down and work hard, and things will line up for you. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, thanks so much for listening. We appreciated you guys joining us again today, and we will talk at you again next week.